Hello everyone, I am Amal Rich, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science, St. Joseph's College of Arts and Science for Women, Hosur. In this video, we are going to learn about arrays in C++. An array is a data structure that is used to store multiple values of similar data types in a contiguous memory location. Elements of an array can be accessed using its index values. Arrays can be used to store any type of data, that is primitive data types, integer, float, double, character, etc. An array can also store derived data types like structures, pointers, and other data types. Properties of arrays. Indexing of an array starts from 0. It means the first element is stored at the 0th index, the second at first, and so on. Once an array is declared, its size remains constant throughout the program. Elements of an array can be accessed using their index values. The number of elements in an array can be determined using the size of operator. An array can have multiple dimensions. We can find the size of the type of elements stored in an array by subtracting adjacent addresses. Array declaration. We can declare an array by simply specifying the data type first and then the name of the array with its size. This is the syntax for declaring an array. Data type, array name, size of the array within square bracket. Here is an example, int arr of 5. Here int is the type of the data to be stored in the array, arr is the name of the array, and 5 is the size of the array, which means only 5 elements can be stored in the array. This is the simple pictorial representation of the previous example. Here ARR is the name of the array and 5 is the size of the array. The memory is allocated like this. It starts from 0 and ends with n minus 1. That is 5 minus 1, 4. These are all called indexes, array indexes. Initialization of array. We can initialize or assign a value to an array in many ways. Here we are discussing about some of the initialization methods available in array. The first one is initialize array with values. Second one is initialize array with values and without size. Third one is initialize array after declaration. Fourth one is initialize an array partially. Fifth one is initialize the array with 0. Initialize array with values. The values enclosed in curly braces are assigned to the array. Here is an example. In this example, the values enclosed in the curly braces 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are stored in the array ARR. So, the index value of 1 is 0, 2 is 1, 3 is 2, 4 is 3, and 5 is 4. The size of the array is 5. Initialize array with values and without size. We have initialized the array with values, but we have not declared the length of the array. Therefore, the length of an array is equal to the number of elements in the curly braces. In this example, we are storing 5 values within the curly braces. So, here the length of the array is 5. So, automatically array size is 5 will be assigned to the array variable ARR. Initialize array after declaration. This can be done with the help of loops. We have initialized the array using a loop after declaring the array. This method is generally used when we want to take input from the user. We can modify the loop conditions or change the initialization values according to the requirements. Here is an example for how we are going to assign array after declaration. So here each and every time the loop will get execute, the value of I is stored in the ARR array. Initialize an array partially. Here we have declared an array partial array with size 5 and with values 1 and 2 only. So these values are stored at the first two indices and the rest of the indices 0 is stored. Initialize the array with 0. We can initialize the array with all elements at 0 by specifying 0 inside the curly braces. This will happen in the case of 0 only. If we try to initialize any other different value means that value will be stored in the 0th index. Accessing the elements of an array. If you want to access the elements of an array by referring the index number inside the square bracket. This is the example for access the elements of an array. In this example, we are storing 4 string values into the array cars. Now we are going to print the 0th index value into the console. So we will get the output as Volvo. This is the 0th index value. Change an array element. It is possible to change the value of a specific element with the help of index number. Here is an example. In this example, the first statement is we are storing 4 string values to the array cars. In the second statement, we are going to change the value of 0th index into Opal. In the third statement, we are going to print the 0th element, that is our new element, into the console. Now we are getting the output Opal instead of Volvo. This is the example program. In this program, we are creating an array called ARR with a size 3. If the size is 3 means the index starts from 0 and ends with 2. Now we are going to insert elements into the array. So with the help of equal to operator, we can directly assign the values to the index. So 10 is assigned to 0th index, 20 is assigned to first index, 30 is assigned to second index. Now we are going to accessing and printing the elements of the array. With the help of index value, we are accessing the value of the array, and with the help of cout statement, we are going to print the array elements into the screen. Now we are getting the output like this. Two-dimensional array. A two-dimensional array is a grouping of elements arranged in rows and columns. Each element is accessed using two indices. One is for row and the another one is for column. This is the syntax for two-dimensional array. Data type, array name, n, m. So here n is number of rows, m is number of columns. This is the pictorial representation of two-dimensional array. In this two-dimensional array, it contains rows 0 to 2 and columns 0 to 2. So this is the 3 by 3 two-dimensional array. Here is an example program for two-dimensional array. In this program, we are declaring a two-dimensional array called ARR with a size 4 by 4. Here 4 rows and 4 columns. And we are going to initialize the value of the array with the help of for loop. So each and every time the loop will get execute, the array value will be stored. Now we are going to print the elements of the two-dimensional array. This can be done with the help of cout statement and for loop. So each and every time the loop will get execute, the output will be displayed on into the console. So after the successful execution of this program, we will get the output like this. The numbers are printed from 0 to 3, that is 4 values, 0 to 3 rows and 0 to 3 columns. Multi-dimensional arrays. Arrays declared with more than one dimension are called multi-dimensional arrays. The most widely used multi-dimensional arrays are two-dimensional and three-dimensional arrays. These arrays are generally represented in the form of rows and columns. This is the declaration of multi-dimensional array. Data type, array name, size 1, size 2. The size will get extended till size n. Here data type is type of the data to be stored in the array, and array name is name of the array. Size 1 to size n is the size of each dimension. Now it's time for a small assessment on the topic arrays in C++. Go through these questions and post your answers in the comments. Thank you all.